Hey Eurovision fans, it's Tom coming to you from Bangkok, and I'm back for another Eurovision news update. I have slithered through the slime of Eurovision social media to bring you all the latest and most fascinating Eurovision news. Today's top stories about the Luxembourg national final, Sanremo Changes, Melfest Changes, and is Loreen a vacuum cleaner? So let's kiki. So first of all, in case you aren't aware, I've already released the first episode of my final analysis. Don't worry, the second and third episodes are coming soon, but they take a long time to do, and I need to intersperse with these type of videos in between to keep my income coming in. So don't worry, I am working on them. I'm not going to give up on them. I've got my flashcards. Sorry, but Eurovision news updates just can't happen without the flashcard. Where will I get the news from? So first up, we have news about how Luxembourg is going to select their contestant for Eurovision 2024. Obviously, they're making their comeback after last competing in 1993. So the Luxembourg broadcaster is called RTL, and they've announced that they're going to do a national final. So they've limited to people who are of Luxembourgish origin or have lived there for the last 3 years, or have like a strong connection to the Luxembourgish music industry as well. So they're leaving it pretty broad, which I like. They've also set up like a sort of artist dating service where if you're an artist without a song, you can still apply and hope to get paired up with someone. So I like that concept as well. For example, last year with Irish Eurovision, we had a lot of really good songwriters who also performed their songs and weren't so good in the performances. And theoretically, if they had paired their song with an artist who was a bit better or stronger, maybe that entry would have been stronger in itself. So I like that idea of also pairing up songwriters and artists as well. It's like a sexy Eurovision dating service, and I'm going to stop doing that with my hands. We also had a quote from the Prime Minister, Javier Bettel, who said Eurovision offered a chance for his country to raise its international profile and develop its creative and musical industries. I love it. What an awesome Prime Minister. I would totally vote for someone who said that. Take note, Slovakia. Luxembourg, probably a little bit worried that people don't know who they are now. They're getting back into Eurovision. They're going to put themselves back on the European geography map with a lot of younger generations. I love it. He also said that they are ready to host. I love that confidence. I want to have that level of confidence that you haven't been in Eurovision since 1993. You're coming back and you're already discussing about potentially hosting. Love it. I want to exude that level of confidence in my everyday life. And we've already got a couple of hints about some Luxembourgish artists who might submit. So I saw this tweet about Child, I don't know how to say his name, as Child maybe, who is an artist who's expressed interest in representing Luxembourg. I looked up his last FM profile. He doesn't have a huge bunch of followers, but he still looks like an interesting artist. If you know of him or anything about him or what his best song is, maybe leave it in the comment section down below and I might do a reaction. If you are a Luxembourger and you have inside knowledge on whether he could be a good candidate or not. Also, do not worry, I will get a Luxembourg magnet. Do not lose sleep, it will be bought. I'm actually hoping to go to China later this year, and while I'm there, I will hope to pick up my Luxembourg magnet. So do not stress about that. Deep breath, stay calm. I've got you covered, don't worry. Now the next news I've got for you is muy escándalo, muy picante. Benidorm Festival will be announcing their new format on July 26th. So we already know that there's going to be 16 artists, and I think 6 backup artists as well. But they're going to announce what format it's going to be, whether it's going to be 2 semifinals of 8 like it was last year, or maybe they might go for something a little bit different. Like, well, you can't really divide 16 any other way. So it's going to have to be 2 8s. Maybe, perhaps when they say format, they mean about this divide between the jury, the demoscopic jury, and the public televote. Maybe that's what they mean. What percentage wise is it going to be, or something like that. I also heard something about the format this year that any artist applying will be required to do like more press. I think they have to do 3 or 4 press days, which some Spanish fans were worried could put off some more established acts who don't want to have to give up that much of their free time. Obviously, if you're an up-and-coming artist looking for an opportunity, that's still very appealing because getting the TV exposure is amazing. But more established artists might find that a little bit off-putting. So definitely correct me if I'm wrong about that, but that's something I remember hearing earlier in the season. Overall though, I love Benidorm Fest. I think they're aware that people like it and that there's hype about it, and it's becoming one of the main shows on their TV station. So I like that they're like dripping out news and stuff and kind of keeping us piqued our interest. I really want Spain to win soon. I think Eurovision in Spain would be freaking amazing. There's so many different potential host cities. I know it would be in Valencia, but still, just if Valencia couldn't host for some reason, there's so many other places that it would just be such a fantastic experience and everyone would be so excited. Oh man, I really want Spain to win soon. I did mention in one of my previous Eurovision news updates that they've had some delegation changes. We're going to have to wait and see how much of an effect is that actually going to have on Benidorm Fest and what Spain are sending. And sticking with even more national final news, now let's move to Italy. And we've got some small changes for Sanremo. In case you don't know, Sanremo is usually over 5 nights, and the first 2 nights they usually divide the 20, 22, 18 songs, however many they have. It kind of varies per year. They have half on the first night and half on the second night. Not next year. Next year they're planning to do all of the songs. We don't know the quantity yet. It's usually like 20, 22. I think they went up to 24 one year as well. All in the first night. On the second night, half of them will perform and the other half will be the hosts. And then on the third night, the other half will perform and then the other half will host. And also the demoscopic jury has been replaced by the radio jury. I don't know what that is yet. I wonder if it's just kind of like radio DJs, perhaps. This is all I can get from the tweet. Okay, next story. Obviously lots of people having post Eurovision depression, PED. How do you pass the time? By the way, if you want me to do like a cute video on how to pass post Eurovision depression, leave a comment in the comment section down below. If people want to see a video like that, I can do something kind of lighthearted about how to pass the time. One thing that's very noticeable on Eurovision Twitter is that a lot of people devolve into bickering, fighting, attacking people, clearly because they're bored in the Eurovision off season. So I like it when I see people doing creative, fun things on Twitter to kind of pass the time. So I'm going to show a couple of those because I want to encourage that. So the first was this color wheel from Little Vic. I thought this was so cool. There were 8 colors on the wheel, and what they did was every day they filled it in with different artists of a different color. So you can see for red there, we've got Mimi Cat. Orange, we've got Monica Lenkite, Pasha Parfene. Yellow, we've got The Roop and Subwoolfer. So this is really, really cool. This happened quite a while ago, but they were releasing a picture pretty much every single day with different colors. I love it. Most of the artists are from this year. Yeah, I thought this is really, really, really cool. I love the color scheme. It's really, really well done. I presume this is done on some sort of Adobe Creative Cloud or Photoshop or something. I love this type of like really creative, fun ways to pass the time instead of just like going for each other's throats. Another cute thing happening right now is with Dolphin Dane, who's someone I follow on Twitter. He is doing a daily Eurovision friendship index. So he's going through all of the countries in Eurovision and looking at historic voting patterns and which countries tend to be more friendly towards them. So this is really cool. He's doing a different country each day. So I'll pop up one of them here where you can see not very many people are friendly towards Spain. Pretty much just Andorra. We need Andorra back in the competition and we can get that Spain win. Yeah, like obviously how well you've done recently in the competition is going to affect your friendliness index. But you can still see that Portugal and France are friendlier than other places, despite Spain's generally poor results in the last decade. And finally, we have a tweet from Timmy's Peachtree. He asked the question, is Loreen a vacuum cleaner? Or as we call them, we call them hoovers in Ireland, but yeah, vacuum cleaner is probably the more appropriate word. And he did a tweet comparing Loreen, her style with vacuum cleaners, and she really does seem to get a lot of inspiration in how she dresses from those very useful household equipment. I'm just going to scroll through some of these. So we've got her with the cap on. There's a nice match there. Definitely in this yellow one, not only is she matching in color wise, but her pose also looks very vacuum cleanery as well. I love this blue one. That's a very pretty vacuum cleaner, by the way. I like that royal blue color. Here she is reading I don't need to describe them. You can just see them yourself, but yes. This metallic bronze one, that's a very fancy pants looking vacuum cleaner. My vacuum cleaner doesn't look like that. This is some fan art that she got where, yeah, it's very conceptual and it's been paired with, whoa, that's a very ugly vacuum cleaner. It looks like something for cutting meat. Anyway, I thought this was funny. So this is the thing, I like these like fun creative ways to pass the off season. So while on the topic of Loreen, let's talk about Melodifestivalen, which is the Swedish national final. In recent years, they've had 28 contestants, but now they're going up to 30. They're going to have 5 groups of 6. 2 of them are going to go direct to final as normal. 2 of them are going to go to a second chance round, and then 2 will be eliminated. So that's different from the format we've had in recent years, where we've had 4 heats of 7, 2 going direct to final, 2 going to Andra Hansen, and usually we get 3 eliminated per episode, but we're only going to get 2 eliminated per episode this time. And they're also getting rid of the Andra Hansen, the second chance round. So usually what happened was those people who came 3rd and 4th in each of the heats will go into an Andra Hansen round, and they would have duels or some sort of, the format changed over various years, but basically 4 of those 8 would then go through to the final as kind of like lucky losers. This year, 10 songs that have been third and fourth in each of the 5 heats will go through to an extended second chance round. That'll be at the end of semi-final number 5. So semi-final 5 will happen. We'll have the 2 winners from that, and then we'll have the 10 songs who came third and fourth, and they will enter into a round of voting again, and the top 2 of them will go to the final. So usually we have 4 Andra Hansen songs go to the final. This year we're only going to have 2. Now I actually think this is quite a clever change. First of all, I think the reason it's happening is because ratings for Andra Hansen were much lower than the other shows this year. It got 2.3 million, where most of the actual semi-finals got around 2.8, 2.9 million. Me personally, I didn't watch the Andra Hansen round because, first of all, I just don't like the songs in it as much, and then secondly, Andra Hansen songs usually don't have any chance in the final whatsoever. I know that Robin Sternberry won from an Andra Hansen song and then ended up getting Sweden's worst result for the last 10 years. Well, joint worst with Tusse. But yeah, I just generally think that it just feels like it's kind of prolonging it. I just don't find it particularly exciting. I think this is a good change because, first of all, we're going to a final where theoretically 10 of the songs could win. 10 of them will have been top 2 in their semi-final as opposed to 8. And generally the Andra Hansen songs don't win, so instead of there being 4, there'll only be 2. So yeah, there's kind of like less filler in a way, and then basically they're replacing an Andra Hansen show with a semi-final show, which is more entertaining. So they still got the same amount of shows, it's just that Andra Hansen show is going to be more interesting. And in terms of reasoning, SVT said that they're hoping to streamline Melodifestivalen to increase ratings across each broadcast. So they were aware that the ratings were down last year and they want to increase them, make the show a little bit more compact, a little bit more interesting. I think they're adapting. I think they're coming up with solutions to the ratings going down last year. The Andra Hansen thing I know has been contentious in the past. I know that a lot of artists didn't want Andra Hansen because they're being put up competing against other people. Some of the established artists didn't like that concept. It felt like it was quite risky for their career, etc. Let's say you don't like this person, well then you can vote for the other person, so you can vote against them. So I don't like voting systems where you can vote against a person. I'm more for when you vote for. First of all, because it's more positive, and second of all, that's the voting system that's actually used in Eurovision. You can't vote people down in Eurovision. So that Andra Hansen system, where if someone was very unpopular, they could not get through because of their unpopularity as opposed to their opponent's popularity. I wasn't a fan of it. I think this sounds better. It sounds more interesting. I'm going to watch all 5 semi-finals then this year. Okay, next up it's upside down. Don't worry, I can read upside down. Next up, we're off to Albania, and they have confirmed their participation for Junior Eurovision. So that's good news. Anyway, we've got 15 countries now. I've booked my accommodation in Nice. I will be going to the contest. Hopefully we'll get some sort of press accreditation. And of course, I'm going to be covering it on this channel. So if you're not subscribed, now is an amazing time for you to subscribe so that you've bookmarked my page and you can find me later. In regards to Albanian Junior Eurovision, really happy that they're so committed to it. I think Albania have got great commitment to adult and Junior Eurovision. I don't think they've missed any years recently that I can think of. Junior Eurovision, they've been there every year since 2015. And adult Eurovision, they've been there every year since 2004. They haven't missed a single year. And that's really impressive considering so many countries had to pull out from the financial crisis that went on and everything. So yeah, Albania are super committed. I would love Albania to win Junior Eurovision. Now they haven't won adult Eurovision yet, but I think winning Junior Eurovision will be a really great start for them. We've seen that Georgia, Armenia and Poland are 3 countries who have, and Malta, are 4 countries who haven't won adult Eurovision but won Junior Eurovision, and that kind of was like a validation of their presence in the competition. So I would love the same thing to happen to Albania as well. Really would be great if they could somehow make a breakthrough in Junior Eurovision and win, and I'm sure they would love to host as well, and that'd be a really fun contest to go to. So really happy that Albania are back and really want them to get the win in Junior Eurovision this year. And the final news story is about Subwoolfer. They were doing one of their chat things on Twitter and asking for questions. I sent them a question: are you writing any songs for Eurovision this year? And I'm not sure which one replied, because I'm not sure whether it's Gaute or Ben who manages the account, but they replied and said they're writing 4 songs right now for Eurovision. So I was really excited about that. Obviously, Give That Wolf a Banana was my favorite song in 2022. In the 23 season, Gaute was one of the writers on Freya, which was my favorite national final song. He wasn't the lead songwriter, he was the 4th songwriter. I believe the songwriters are listed in the order of their contributions, and he was the 4th out of 5 mentioned. And then Ben Adams was the lead songwriter on Honestly from Ulrika, which was a lot of people's favorite song. I didn't particularly resonate with that, but a lot of people really love that song. So these guys are really great. I love the songs that they're submitting. So really excited to see these 4 songs. Hopefully they come to fruition. Again, I don't know whether it's Gaute or Ben or whether they're writing together or whether they're writing separately. I like that they're just still contributing. MGP's got really great songwriting group in it right now. I'm sure they've got writing camps going on as we speak, and hopefully maybe the like Eurovision winner is being written right now somewhere in Hammerfest. Okay, so that's all the Eurovision news that I've got for today. Couple of shout outs. Thank you so much to Lena and Israela for supporting me on Buy Me Coffee, and also to Matthias M, Renata, and Hannah H for supporting me on PayPal. Thank you so much for your donations. You are keeping the channel going in the off season. If you want to support the channel, I'll leave some links in the description. But as always, thank you so much just for watching. If you like this Eurovision analysis video and you want to see some more, I'll leave a couple of them for you here. Please don't forget to give me a delicious thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. See you in another Eurovision news analysis video very soon. Goodbye.